Chris Level here with another edition of Pirate Talk. Chip Darden, my guest as always. Colton Coombs taking care of us behind the camera. Gene Messer, Ford Lincoln. Thank you to those folks for sponsoring these shows all season. We are planning to have many more of these to go as the Pirates have, as we talked about on the last episode, clinched a berth in the playoffs. 13 years in a row. You are that is something I think you're very proud of, and you should be. And it's not all you; it precedes you. But you've been a part of a pretty long stretch here of. Yeah. I think the best saying is tradition is earned, not given.
Yep.
Speak to.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It isn't about me, or it's not even necessarily about this team. They're a part of it, but it's just about. I really should do the math about how many kids have been involved in that 13 straight years of being in playoffs, and it'd be pretty impressive. And how many coaches, just pretty neat for our program and community. That when you get to the point where most people expect you to make the playoffs, it's good and a bad thing, but it's good. That standard is really high, and I was here. I've been here even before that, and the year in 2012 we didn't make it. That was the year we lost 4 games, all by 1 point. One of the craziest statistical years ever. Like that's hard to do, but
got a better chance of winning the lottery.
I know.
Yeah.
So, but the year before that we made a deep run, and anyway, just it goes way back, and. We wanted to win a district championship. That was a goal. It doesn't happen, and that's something that we learn about. That it's a life lesson. You set high goals and you have a standard. Well, sometimes you miss a goal, you reset, and you have other ones that you're trying to accomplish. But this group was really proud to make the playoffs. They didn't want to be the ones that broke the streak. So I think it meant a lot to them. We've mentioned it before, I believe, but after the Paladuro game, when on the field, you could feel they thought we didn't have a chance, and told them, hey, if we win out, we're going to get in, and it was like we had a little bit of renewed energy, and that was kind of a turning point.
All anybody wants is hope.
That's right.
Give me a chance.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned that when people expect you to make it, and as you know, with realignment and with the school split and all the things going on and everything, it is not easy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not it's far from a given. And you're dealing with injuries, and you're dealing with, a weather delay.
Yeah, and we're in a district with really good teams.
Too. Yes, a loaded district.
And there's like Paladuro, and Paladuro's got a history. Like, it's not like they're a nobody. They've got a history, but recent history. It was their first district championship, I think, since 2002. But man, the talent on that roster is unbelievable, and the coaching staff does a great job. And so you've got Plainview, who a 4-year starting quarterback. Like, there's some of that, but there's also old tradition in the district. Abilene Cooper is one of the most tradition-rich programs. Abilene Wiley, same way. I mean, Abilene Wiley won a state championship recently and played in another one since it's moved to Jerry World. So I don't know. It's a mix of new. You got the 2 new Wichita Falls, but then also some really old tradition in the district. So. Good coaches all the way around, and it's tough.
Were you surprised to see who got squeezed?
I mean, to me, that is a crazy thing. Is Wiley goes 6-0 last year in this district, and then they don't get in this year. The reverse, Paladuro got 5th last year, didn't get in, and they win it this year at 6-0. I think I've said it 2 years in a row that I thought the district champion would have a loss. It's worked out. Paladuro and Wiley got it done back-to-back years at 6-0, but I think you saw this year how open the district was. I mean, it came down to that last week when we were open. I believe, so 3 spots were filled. I think all 4 others had a chance at getting in that last week. Like, that's just pretty rare. So I think it just shows how deep our district really was.
And expect it to be similar next year?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know why.
The rumors, Plainview might go down to 4A, but Coronado might come down to our class too, so maybe just swap those 2.
Okay. Buckle up.
Yep.
Okay, but that's somebody else's problem next year, and we'll talk about that next year. So you take me through when you start looking at who you may play and all the dynamics that go into that. Like, how many different opponents did it kind of come down to, and did you, just take me through the dynamic of what you're
Yeah.
thinking in your own locker room and in your own coach's locker room and all that stuff about it's really going to be this team or it could be one of these couple. I mean, take me through and how.
Yeah.
When did you know that?
Yeah, we knew that it was going to be kind of crazy in that district as well.
We're talking about El Paso.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's District 1 and 5A Division 2, and they ended up with a three-way tie for first, and that's what made it kind of interesting. And those three teams all beat each other, which now goes to a point system. And so we had a pretty good feeling going into our open week that if everybody, Del Valle was open, so then the other two, Chapin and Andrus, they had games. If they both won, we knew Del Valle would be the opponent based on the point system.
And this is how many points you scored?
It's point differential.
Okay,
so how bad they beat each other.
Okay, got it.
So, yeah, so Del Valle, anyway, it's a plus-minus point system. So we knew Andrus would be the 1 seed, Del Valle the 2, and Chapin 3. Kind of turned crazy there at the end. Chapin kicked a field goal at the buzzer to win their game, or else it would have changed our opponent. And so that was I was watching that on the stream. It was kind of crazy. But their district, to me, was a lot like ours. Like, man, there's some traditional powers, Del Valle being one of them, and yet a team, Canutillo, that we played last year that didn't make the playoffs, that was a really good team, and just such a tough district this year that they didn't get in.
And you I know Canutillo has some history here, and Del Valle, though. These are some of these schools are starting to churn out some Division I players, even at the Power 4 level.
Yep.
I don't know if I can spell it. Conquistadores.
I think that's right.
Is that right? The Del Valle Conquistadores, which is that different than just singular conquistador?
That's a good question.
Okay,
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay, I don't know. Is there multiple conquistadori? Or whatever. I don't know. Okay, so and then how do y'all determine that you're going to play on Thursday? Like, how does that? I think it's always fast because you did this last year.
We did. For us, it's easy because we got the open week, which the way it worked out, Del Valle did too. So that was pretty easy. A little like last year with Canutillo, it was a little different because they had played on Friday. But we just feel like there's an advantage the next week, whoever moves on.
Because you get a day
extra.
extra.
And you might get to go scout. You get that in, like for us, if we're fortunate enough to win, well, we're going to travel back and get home about 6 in the morning. If that's a Friday night, coaches probably just stay up there and work Saturday and start getting ready for that next round opponent. Whereas now we kind of have Friday to rest, do some of that stuff, and then you can have a normal weekend of work and prep with that long travel. But it also, a lot of the DFW schools, which is where we go next, a lot of them play Friday. So I think that's what El Paso thinks too, that, man, it gives us an advantage to have that extra day and maybe you heal up a little bit better, but also another prep day.
This is the winner of this game. Do they end up playing, was it Walnut?
Walnut Grove or Arlington Seguin, and Seguin is a pretty talented team. So that last year that was a 7-point game. That was a battle, and could be the same this year. But Walnut Grove has gone 2 years in a row of winning the District of Doom, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, we'll worry about that next time. I always mix up because that's a Prosper school.
Prosper,
yes,
yeah.
That's right. Okay, let's talk about Del Valle. Take me through your knowledge of them, and because I think you've kind of told their staff and their head coach, it's like, man, you guys are kind of the standard here.
Yep.
With what are they, 19-1 over the last 2 years? Is that right?
Yeah, if you count playoffs, I guess they're 20-2.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty impressive. Yeah, they are. I think they're the standard. As we've played the El Pasos, they've always been in the district, or most of the time been in the district we matched up with. But we've been a high enough seed, and they've been a high enough seed that we didn't match up. Last year, they were the only El Paso team, I believe, in any classification that won a playoff game. They beat Abilene Cooper by 28 points in the by-district round, and jumped out to a 21-0 lead and just never looked back. But they're really, like, you see talent, and that's one thing to have talent, but they're really well coached. And you look at, like, they're churning out Division I quarterbacks almost every year. Like, there's something to be said for how they're getting coached. I mean, obviously these kids have talent, and the one they got this year is an unbelievable talent, but they're coaching them well. So it's a challenge. It's a good program. I think just maybe the best program in El Paso, and it's a well-oiled machine.
Jake Fetty, is that right? Yeah, take us through measurables here. He is, I think, at this point, he has not signed with Arizona State, but he is committed to Kenny Dillingham and Arizona State. So, and he's a dual threat.
Yes, true dual threat. He measurables, he's like, I guess is it the Larry the Cable Guy that says depends on what convenience store I'm walking out of. I'm between 6 foot and 6'4". Some sites we look at, he's 6'2". Some, I think one of them says 6'1.5", but he's plenty big. About 200 pounds. One thing that doesn't lie, that's not like a convenience store tape measure, is he ran a 21.8 200 in the regional track meet last year, and that, if y'all aren't aware of track, that's getting moving. It. And so he runs it well. He's their obviously leading passer, like 25 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, I think, on the year. But he's also their leading rusher, getting pretty close to 1,000 yards rushing. And you can tell, like, when things get dicey, when they're in close games or they need a big play, they run him. They're not afraid to run him. But then he also runs off of scrambles. It's one thing when you face a running quarterback that's all quarterback designed runs, but then when you got somebody that spins it like him, man, you cover everything up, you do everything right, and then he
unscripted.
It's just tough. And I've gotten asked a lot, like, to compare him. He's just one of the best players that we have played against this year for sure. But really, since in the 17 years I've been here, he's just one of the best players I've coached against.
So not just quarterbacks, you're talking players.
Players.
Okay.
And then on the quarterback side of it, like, he's hard to compare with some that we've coached and some that we've coached against. Sawyer Robertson was great, but they're just so different. The one that comes to mind for me is Jarrett Stidham, that just could beat you with his arm and leg. Yeah. Stephenville, and went to Auburn, Baylor, was all over a bit, but NFL now, and was
committed to Tech at one point.
Yeah. And I'm not, the comparisons are hard. Like, saying, is he as good as him? Is he? I don't know. That's who I'd compare him with. His style, the way he can put the ball right where it needs to be, the way he can hurt you with his feet. So he's a challenge.
Take me through the dynamic, too, that the unknown of El Paso, in that they really don't – there's no crossover in, like, non-district matchups, or they don't play anybody, and they just kind of stay there, right?
Yep.
And take me why they just don't do the travel.
Yeah, it's like, just, there's nothing close.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so, you know what? Let's just all do this, and we'll just keep it in this sandbox. And
it's a big district out there, so they've only got 3 non-district games, and so then they just play some of the 6As or the 5A Division I's, and it makes it easy. But that's the thing, like, the closest El Paso del Valle is not going to be able to play Pecos or Van Horn, that's close out there. The closest they would get is like Midland or Odessa. Well, that's a 5-hour trip, so it's just hard for them to do that. Now, we did it with El Paso Hanks a few years back, 2020 and 2021. We did a home-and-home with El Paso Hanks in non-district. We were having trouble finding games. Well, COVID year bumped our home game, so we just went out there in 21. But it was interesting that year because we had a non-district game with them. Then when we got film on our El Paso opponent, and I think that was round 2 then. We went Fort Worth round 1. Round 2, we had an El Paso team, and it was just so much better for us because we could compare. We had seen our guys against El Paso Hanks. And anyway, that is the hard thing. You don't – in district, you start getting so used to knowing, okay, we know what this kid from Plainview looks like. You can compare them. You can see how big they are, how physical, and you don't have that with them.
Yeah, because it's just all pretty interesting. Okay, so when are you? How did you? By the way, you got some guys rested up. We've talked about that. You get both teams obviously coming off the bye week. It's a Thursday night deal, and any weird routine in that you're gonna have to leave really early on a Thursday, which you may be watching it on Thursday if you're consuming this show. That's a long. How do you break up the lengthy trip?
We've done it couple different ways. Where like halfway through we do a walk, like halfway to a venue we do a walkthrough and a lift, and like we normally do on a game day. And last year with Canutillo we switched it and we did the walkthrough stuff at home before we left. So we're gonna do that again, where we get our walkthrough and lift, and then grab a breakfast burrito and get on the bus. But then we're gonna stop halfway and get out at a park and just walk around and eat lunch and let them get out in the fresh air for a little bit, and then go straight to the game and start our normal pregame routine. But it worked last year, and I think the kids liked it. When we do that walkthrough in the middle, it just man, it just kind of, it can mess you up. It can make you rush because you got to get dressed out, and there's just a lot involved, and I think a little bit better when we do that at home.
Playoff time.
No better time.
And earn the right to be here.
Yep.
Yeah, earn the right to be here.
That's our goal, to have another week together. That's what we say. One more week together. So.
And I mean, I don't know. I'm looking for less weeks with you.
I know.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I'm not us. I'm
It's
talking
a,
about
yeah,
the team.
it's a joke. It's a joke.
He's jet lagged, guys. He's tired.
And some charter buses.
He's complaining about.
You guys are traveling.
He's complaining about getting in at 2 a.m. I'm like, yeah,
6
come on,
a.m.
man.
Yeah, 6 a.m. for you. Yeah, I didn't complain. You just asked me a question, and nobody knows what you're even talking about now. As a matter of fact. Yeah. All right, man. Well, seriously, good luck.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Yep. And it'll be okay. This game will be streamed on NFHS. It's going to require a subscription. This is a UIL thing. We have no control over it here at Lubbock Cooper Independent School District. This is a UIL mandated deal. If they want to pick up these streams, they are allowed to do that. They have the contract for it, all that stuff. So if you have any questions or concerns there, you can email cdarden@lc. I'm kidding.
They offer a monthly and a yearly subscription.
And so you just sign up and then keep it for as long as you want, and then cancel it. But you can get the stream there. We just here at Cooper don't feel like we want to charge people for the right to watch their kids and their all that stuff. But in the postseason, totally out of our control. So there you go. But it'll also be on 100.7 The Score, like it has been all year, with the fellas calling that Tommy, Chip's dad, and then Taylor McMacken. So we'll do that as well. So, and you can get that app on your phone or whatever if you're not near a radio. So appreciate everybody. We'll do this again next week. Fingers crossed. For Colton, for Coach Darden, this has been Chris Lovell. This has been another edition of Pirate Talk.